Hey, welcome back to Rust Order Garage. What is that? Samoid hair on my Sammy hair. Sammy Ed, Samoid, Samioid, whatever. My white puppy. Just call her Sammy. Her hair's everywhere. Anyway, we're back on the 61 Rambler Rockbox wagon. As you see, I have the body on the rotisserie because it's much nicer to weld somewhat horizontal rather than on my back, burning me worse than I've already been burned. So I think it's time to get to work on this. And see, I have yet another microphone. I keep playing with different microphones because I feel like sound is one of the biggest problems with my earlier videos. It just wasn't that good. So I'm trying to get better as time goes on. The content's still sketchy, but the sound might be better. So it's miserable out today, and it's going to rain, and that means it's going to be really loud in here on the roof. So there probably won't be a whole lot of videotaping or recording or however you want to call it, but I'm going to be working on the underside of the Rambler today. First section, I'm going to start in the back and start filling in these big holes that I had to cut to clear the spring pockets on the E-body chassis. Already started making some templates out of cardboard. And here comes the rain. And I'll transfer these to steel, make some patches. We'll be filling this in so it's sealed off from the outside again like it was originally. I have to do both sides. I have to weld up any holes not needed anymore, like these used to be the original Rambler shock mounts. Not going to need that anymore. My dummy mount brackets that are temporary welded in, I got to get that stuff cleaned up and welded in permanently. They're just tacked in place because I couldn't get in there to weld them. You know, that kind of stuff. I pretty much scraped all the factory bed liner off the back of the Rambler, which wasn't bad at all. With a torch, you just heat it up and it fell right off. The stuff on the G-body frame, I'm not going to be as easy, and I'm probably just going to knock it down and bedline right over it. Because if it's that stuck and it doesn't want to come off, then it'll be a fine base. And still, as I said, lots and lots of seam sealing to do over all the welding we did. But I'm going to get to work. I'll bring you back maybe when it stops raining, so it won't be so loud. All right, here's an update. Many hours in. This is going to be probably the shortest video with the most amount of work that you're just not going to see. So I'm probably halfway done right now. I've got driver's side, a lot of work done. This back here is all boxed in, sealed up, repaired that mounting pad there. Sealed off the old shock mount, seam sealed a whole bunch of areas. Pretty much anywhere there was a weld, even if I didn't make the weld, I was sealing it up. All these areas I welded up. There used to be some cheesy seat belts in this car. I had welded those holes up. Whether there's a pinhole there or not, I don't care. I seam seal everything just to be sure. Back here where the G-body frame attached to the Rambler frame, just seam seal the snot out of it. I don't care. All the floors we did, all the floor repairs, the patches. Up here, there wasn't a whole pan done, but there were a lot of patches on the side and such done. All steel welded all the way down the rocker, tying the G-body rocker panel into the Rambler rocker panel, all the way up into the firewall. A lot of dirty work. But it's getting there. It's just taking a long time. So this will probably be a 5-minute video when I'm done. We'll see. But just a ton of work. So right now I'm going to rotate the car over to the other side. And I think it's time to get going and try to finish up that one. Quick update on the car. It has been days and many hours since I started working on this body shell on the rotisserie. I had to remind myself of what we are actually doing here. We are not building a L78 Camaro or something here. This is a Rambler wagon on a G-body chassis, and it doesn't have to be Concours, but I seem to get carried away. But regardless, I reset my brain. I am to the point now where I'm ready to undercoat the underside. I'll show you where we're at. I am still seam sealing welds. There must be a mile of welds on this car. There's still more to do. It looks like a Frankenstein, and that's because it is a Frankenstein. It's a Frankenstein car, and there are still lots more seams to seal up. But I don't want exhaust fumes in the car. I don't want water coming in the car, at least from underneath. It may leak in the windshield, but I can deal with that. I just don't want it coming up under the floors. So let me show you the bottom and where we are at the moment. Underneath the car, again, looking like a Frankenstein because of all of the seam seal, but I actually put seam sealer everywhere, even on not just the seams I did, but anywhere it looked like there may have been a seam, factory or not. I seam sealed everything I could basically touch. So I don't want to have to worry about it leaking. So it is what it is. Everything is ready now for undercoating. I rebuilt both sides of the body underneath. I have these big areas so that now when the body's on the frame, you can reach up and get to the shocks because you couldn't get to them the way the factory frame was. Everything is there. I had to rebuild the whole rear rocker area section because there was nothing there. So I had to extend the G-body rockers, make new ones, and tie into the rear wheelhouses. So that's all together now on both sides. I extended the rocker panels. I welded steel all in to extend the Rambler rockers to the G-body rockers. So now it's a huge rocker panel. You could probably hang a house on it. When we first brought the car in, you couldn't even pick it up on the lift without it breaking in half. But it looks like poo, but it is what it is. It's seam sealer. Once it's all black, it'll be under the car, and I won't be thinking about it when I'm driving it. So it'll do its job and seal everything up. So yeah, did I go overboard? Probably. You know, what are we building here? We're building a fun driver, but you still got to do a somewhat decent job. I mean, you don't want to just tack weld the body onto the G-body floor and call it done. This now is a 100% all welded together, safe, strong. Nothing's going to move. This thing is built to go. So we'll get this painted probably next week, and then we'll come back. All right, and I don't mean painted. I mean we're going to undercoat or bedline something at the bottom of the floor pan. I'm not quite sure yet. Originally, I thought maybe I'd do the Duplicolor bed liner that I've been using on a lot of stuff, but I'd have to paint it on with a brush. Very time consuming. And for this car, I think maybe just spray on undercoating would be good enough. But to put the bottom of the car in the condition I needed for it to be right, I had to put on the rotisserie. So I might as well at least clean it up and do something with it. So I may just go with bed liner or undercoating. I haven't decided yet. But I have to go shopping first because Carlisle's coming up. I wasn't going to go, but I'm going to Carlisle next week and going part shopping for Studebaker parts for the Hawk. Maybe something for this. I'm not sure if I really need anything else for this, but we'll see what we find. But until then, I know this is a short video. You did not want to watch what I was doing. Too much work, too boring. Thank you very much for following this project. Thank you for watching the channel, and thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. We'll see you when we come back on this thing. Later.